All right, guys, welcome to the Fighting Fit Show. Today with me, we have Sean McConnon, the fittest, fastest, strongest postman in the country, or at least the fittest, fastest, strongest postman in the gym that I could get on the podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because Mark McCann might have something to say about it, but he's not here and he hasn't got on the podcast yet. So all the credit goes to you, Sean. Thanks so much for taking the time and your busy schedule. How are you feeling today? Are you nervous?
Well, I'm all right. Not too bad. No, I'm kind of dreading what questions you're going to come up with, but see how it goes.
So all we need to know is your age, your weight. No, I don't. All right. So first things first, little introduction about Sean. Sean's been with us since 2019. We've kind of been on and off, but more so on than anything else. Obviously, life gets in the way. People take breaks here and there, but always had a good relationship with Sean. Maybe actually something I upon preparing for this podcast, I thought was really interesting, and maybe something I never mentioned to you and Mark. But initially, kind of when we started Fighting Fit, what we started as was a ladies boxer size class. Like that's kind of the roots. And from there, people started getting great results. And Steve said, you know what I should do? I should probably start measuring this and managing it. So that way, if people do get a good result, we know what it was and we can celebrate and congratulate them at the end. From there, we kind of decided, you know what, maybe we could add some weights in here, a little bit of circuit training. People feel like they need a little bit more. And then we moved from that. Then we kind of found our own spot. The weights kind of went up and we started to get known for the circuit classes in town that maybe, just wasn't the teeny tiny weights. And so then we kind of started growing. We started doing some more big lifts, some more compound movements. Maybe some of the stuff wasn't the most optimal training, but it was still absolutely phenomenal, especially for people who aren't, experienced or advanced weightlifters. So it was really good. I suppose maybe it was the perfect program for beginners. And so yourself and Mark, essentially what happened, at least by my eye, was that you guys kind of outgrew the program. Like, you really did take so much from it, and literally in terms of all the weights, had maxed out the dumbbells. You know,
Did you?
and by that stage, we didn't really have much barbells and the like. And so I remember at that point, sitting down with you guys and trying to set goals. I was like, so what's next? I was like, I don't know, more push-ups. I don't know, like, what do we do here? I'm not sure. And so then COVID happened. We took a big break and we decided to, make a change and make a move. And that's when we kind of started to move towards the level method and the CrossFit style training. And enter back Sean and Mark. Came back for a bit of a taste. And so again, I just wanted to, let you know that I thought that it was super impressive that again, you guys peaked the program, which I thought was really amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we went pretty hard at that first year. Like the two of us were kind of chasing each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, big time. And just for the guys who don't know some of your stats, when you initially joined and then you were losing weight, you lost 12 kg. So that's pretty badass. And then you seemed to gain a fair bit back when in the season that you left. And then kind of recently you joined back in January and you lost another 8 kg, which I feel is probably interesting. How do you feel your physique is now, the 12 kg down versus now only 8 kg down? Do you kind of feel like you're in better shape now at a bigger weight, or how do you feel?
yeah, I think like when I originally lost the weight, I got down to, I think it was maybe 83 kilos, and I was pretty lean then. Whereas now I think I'm at about 87, and I'm not as lean, but I'm pretty lean at 87. Like I think I've maybe built a wee bit more muscle and lost a wee bit more fat. Like so I'm heavier, but I'm nearly as lean. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, big time. Exactly. That's what I was kind of getting at. Is that
Yeah.
sometimes you could be at a lot of time. To be fair, if you're building muscle and you're building it well, is that you're going to look leaner at a heavier weight because you've got more muscle. And I think that's pretty cool. And that was very interesting. Because again, as previously stated, somebody who will really push things, as far as they'll go, for you to kind of now stop at 8 kg rather than 12, I thought was interesting. It's like, oh, why is he kind of flatlining out? It's because you're happy now because you have the physique that you want. And as we were talking, we had chatted about summer cut for your summer holiday, and then you decided against it because you decided, I'm probably lean enough.
Yeah. As I said, I'm pretty happy where I am at the minute. Like, and I was thinking about trying to cut down a lot for holidays and that, but like, I'm happy where I am. Like, I know I probably would be, yeah, I'd probably be happier if I looked in the mirror and I was more shredded or more like that just for a week or two. But I just, what's the point? I'm happy now. I think I'm performing pretty well at this weight. Like, I think athletically, like I've more energy and I've more everything. I'm sitting around this 87 kilos, so I'm kind of happy just staying here. Like, and I'm being strict with my diet, but I'm still like, I have a pint at the weekends and I'll have it like, and I'm still kind of consistently staying around this 87, 86 and a half. So it's kind of, it's working for me.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. And that's a great segue into my next question, which is what was, at least for the first 12 weeks and maybe even now, the 8 kg that you lost, sorry, the first 12 kg versus the next 8 kg. What is your strategy? Like how do you go about weight loss? What's your approach?
Oh, I'm like, I seem to hear a lot of people saying who lose weight, it's kind of the same things over and over for me. Like, like it's the same breakfast, it's the same lunch. The only thing I'd change up is my dinner. Like, I'd kind of try to be pretty strict with my breakfast and my lunch, and then with my dinner, I'd kind of eat not what I wanted, but it'd be more something that I'd kind of enjoy. Like, so my breakfast and my lunch would always be pretty much the same. Might vary a little bit, but then my dinner kind of have whatever I want, and then just a wee snack in between or that. Like I'd be pretty consistently the same.
Yeah. And how do you, obviously for weight loss, calories are super important. Are you a calorie tracker, man, or you just kind of go by the average food, you track it at the start and then you kind of a rough idea? What's your approach there?
At the start, like in 2019 when I first joined, like I think I remember my streak on my fitness pal was like 360 something days or something. I logged everything, literally everything, and it worked perfect. And then the next time when we were doing the level method, I tracked at the start, but I kind of got to know like because I was eating the same kind of things every day. I kind of knew thereabouts how many calories I was taking, and now there in January, like I was tracking at the start, but again, I kind of got the hang of what I was eating and how many grams of protein I was getting in, how many grams of carbs and fats, and I kind of just eat the same, so it's always around the same.
100%. And that's obviously one of the key things that you'll hear coaches ranting and raving about, routine, consistency. And that is what you're showing with these kind of boring, let's say, in terms of variety, consistent meals is like, it's like, it might not be the sexiest thing, but if you enjoy it and it works and it gets your numbers where you need, absolutely spot on. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Like that's what my wife always says to me. How do you eat so much scrambled eggs and bacon? And I was like, I just love it. Like I can eat it every day. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. No, see again, that's another thing because different strokes for different folks. Like some people, you hand them eggs and bacon every day, and it just doesn't work for them. The key is finding what works for you. It's not about what works for somebody else. And I suppose another big thing with that is like everybody wants nutrition and weight loss and fat loss approaches to be sexy or to have a secret. It's like it's not that sexy and it's not that secret. It's literally just eggs, bacon, chicken, fish, fucking potatoes, rice in the right amounts.
Yeah.
And what just out of curiosity for weight loss, what are your kind of calories and macros?
I've always kind of thought when I came back, it was around 2,500 calories, and I was losing like maybe 0.5 a kilo a week, training like 5 days a week. So it was going. I might have a run in between one of the other days and that. So I was still eating a good bit, but my weight was coming down. Like, and now I'd say now I'm around maybe. I'd actually say I'm probably still around the same 2,500, 2,600, and it's just my weight just seems to sit with the training at around that 87 kilos.
Yeah. And what about protein? Like what's your kind of grams for protein a day?
I'd be up pretty much most days I'd hit 160 grams anyway. Like the odd day I might hit 200 grams, like protein's never a problem for me. It could always by lunchtime I'll have fucking maybe 120 grams in already, like,
That's solid.
Yeah. Carbs, I think it was like 145 grams of carb, but 150 grams of carbs usually, and then fats. I don't even know what the fats was like.
No. Good, yes, exactly. So now we're kind of getting into the macro territory. It's like, listen, in my opinion, for high performance athletes, you should probably know what you're doing. But for the vast majority of people who've got nice steady goals. It's like fats and carbohydrates, the balance of which is
Yeah.
kind of up to your personal preference. If somebody said to me, hey, listen, I'm feeling good and it's high fat and it's low carb and it's high protein, it's like, cool, yeah, tear away.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, again, high protein to sustain the muscle that you're trying to stress out with your training, and obviously even more so if you're trying to grow. But the carbohydrates and the fat is just fuel source. There is a little bit of debate if you are going to do high intensity training. You know, carbohydrates are probably a better fuel source. If you're going to do long, slow endurance work, fat is probably your kind of go-to fuel source. But for the fighting fit sessions, you know, I think that you're probably gearing towards more that high intensity effort for the most part. And so, you know, some moderate amount of carbohydrates is going to be needed, and then whatever the balance is fat probably.
Yeah. Well, that's like for the like I would always concentrate on the protein. You know, like I'd always make sure I got the protein in, and like the carbs and that. Like I wouldn't necessarily track too much, but it would be the one thing I would track all the time would be the protein, just to make sure I was hitting that 160 grams.
Yeah, I was scoping for a little bit of dirt on you before the podcast with your BFF Mark, and he was telling me that obviously prior to Fighting Fit, you and him were kind of scoping around the town, trying to find a gym. What is your kind of gym experience prior to Fighting Fit?
Not a lot, to tell you the truth. Like I wouldn't like. I was never really all through my 20s. Like I think I did one 8-week challenge, you know, like in a different gym, and it worked. I lost weight and all that, like, but I didn't keep it up, you know, so it just kind of went back on again. But I remember when Mark was, I think Mark joined like a month before me, but we were looking at the time, both of us were talking about doing something, and he joined, I think it was a month before me, and then he was just telling me the cracks. So I was like, well, yeah, sure, like I'll give it a go. And I initially remember it was like you had to sign up for 12 weeks. I don't know if it's still the same or not, like, but you'd sign up, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
I'll do the 12 weeks, and then sure, I'll probably tip on and do something else, like, but just kind of stuck at it then. But like I never had any previous gym experience really, like, at all.
What about sports?
Yeah, well, like I played soccer when I was younger, till I was about maybe 13 or 14, and then I stopped, and I didn't do much, to tell you the truth. Like that, it actually annoys me. Like through my 20s, I didn't do anything. You know, when I see now in my 30s, like how I could get into good shape, and how much I enjoy it, I think to myself, why did I waste my 20s not doing anything? But I did maybe that. I did a white collar boxing when I was maybe 24, and I really enjoyed that.
Nice.
And that was, I remember I loved it. I remember him telling me it was in Hanlon Park Boxing Club, and I remember saying, like, you're actually pretty good. You know, like you could have done it, and that nearly made me mad, or that I didn't start it when I was younger again. You know, like it was all them kind of things.
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like I had no previous really like sports, or I was never really into
My
anything.
mind is blown by that, to be honest, because one of the things that I was kind of like that I was looking to get at with this conversation was I was wondering why like you have such a strong base, like because you know your transformation was really really strong, and obviously listen, the Fighting Fit program is amazing, but your transformation in 12 weeks alone was really, really incredible. That it spoke to me that you must have had some kind of history of training again in sport. I was thinking maybe not necessarily weight training, but sport, and soccer been the only thing that you did growing up ages.
Yeah.
But from like, was it like 7 to 13? Like, was it 7 years of hard work? Like, what was the?
No, it was like it wasn't at any sort of high level or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
just a local team, and played it. But yeah, like it's literally was from about, I'd say probably from about 7 till about 6 or 7 till about, I think I finished up at under 14s, you know, and that was it. Like, and I did nothing then, you know, like just kind of drank and partied for a couple of years.
Is you're 14?
Probably.
Hilarious. Well, again, guys, any parents listening, that's something that I would definitely say. Like, get those kids into sports early, because fundamental movement skills. Like, as a coach, I deal with people all the time, and again, the probing question that I always ask people who have any kind of base is what. Like, no, it's not did you do something. It's what did you do. Like, again, I was talking to another friend the other day. He was training. Now, listen, I asked him. I was like, any sports, any exercise history? He's like, oh, I worked with a PT like last year for like 12 months or something like that, which is a great stint.
Yeah.
But again, just the level of coordination that he had, I was like, there has to be something else. So I was digging. I was like, what about sports when you were younger? And no sports. I was like, come on, football, Gaelic, basketball, ping pong. What was it? And then again, doing another exercise. I was like, dancing, any dance? He's like, oh yeah, I did dance from like 11. And I was like, there it is. Because again, coordination is developed. You know, explosiveness is developed. Like some people have it quite naturally, I suppose, to a degree. But normally, when you see a high level of coordination, it comes from somewhere. And so again, like 7 years of football, and you know, ages 10 to 40, it was pretty intense football as well. Like it might not have been anything compared to the pros, but I mean, like for the individual doing the sport, it's quite intense.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like it's as I said, you saying parents now, like I think I'm more focused on my young kids now, making sure that they're doing something, you know, like making sure that they're sticking at something and keeping at it and not giving up the way like I give up because I did. Like any times they're having a bad day or anything, I'd say, I'm going to push you to do it because you're going to regret it the way I regretted stopping when you're
Yeah.
older. You know that, like, so just to get them, just to keep them pushed into it, like, you know, keep them going at it.
I remember being about 14 or 15. And again, like my claim to fame at the minute is still that I boxed. You know, that's the
Yeah.
way like it's one of my like most proud, like one of the things that I'm most proud of that I've ever developed or worked on myself is my ability to box. And again, I'm not even super amazing at it, but I remember one evening like not wanting to go, and I remember my mom literally made me go, and I'm so glad that that was the attitude. It's like, listen, go, you lazy shite, because if I had just got whatever I wanted at the time, I wouldn't have went anywhere. I wouldn't have done anything. I wouldn't have developed anything. I was just lazy. That's what teenagers are like.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I was. So like my parents didn't push me to go and play sports. I didn't do anything like that, and that's what happened. Like I just got lazy and just stopped. You know, just at the flick of a switch, just stopped and just didn't go back.
How did the white collar go?
That was best.
Ah, no,
Yeah, and even worse, it was by my brother-in-law.
no way. Oh
Yeah,
dear,
yeah.
I can't even live it down.
No, still haunts me about
Listen, if you're cute, you might be able to organize a divorce there somewhere. Just start fucking.
it.
But what was the crack? Were you out boxed? Were you out scrapped? Out fitness? Was he a bigger man? What was the crack?
No, like I think the two of us, we were pretty well matched. Like he hit like a truck. Like he was wiry, but he hit really really hard. And I think once or twice he just kind of caught me and kind of pinged me. Kind of ears were ringing a wee bit, you know, like just and I
Head
just
went back.
yeah, he just kind of he put on the pressure then, like, and he just won. I think it was 3 rounds. I think he won. It was 2 rounds to one or something like that, you know, like so.
Yeah. And
But it
again,
was
like
great.
with the white collars, to be fair, like I'm not sure how cute you were. I didn't see the fight, but like normally there's only like a fucking shot or four in it. You know what I mean? Four big
Yeah,
shots can take the round. Like it's not like you need to be
yeah,
standing in the head top to you. Like sometimes there's only one. It's like they're winning. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And are you signing? You're signing up for the next one for the fighting fist white collar, or
Yeah. I said I'd give it a go. Yeah, yeah.
what was your ring name for the last one?
Oh, geez, I can't even remember. I think it was
Sean the Brawn McConnon.
no, I think it was something like Sean Cutthroat McConnon or something like that. You know,
Love it.
something daft.
It is good crack. Do you remember your walkout song?
Jesus, I think it was. Oh, I think it was. Fuck, I can't even remember. No, I honestly can't.
Fair
No
enough.
idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Fucking remember the name Fort Minor. Another question, just kind of prior to joining Fighting Fits. Do you remember like why did you decide I need to get started? Obviously, you're chatting to Mark, but what was kind of pissing you off? What was it to change your mind and decide I need to do something here?
There was a couple of factors on why I remember when we were looking and that we were thinking, but there was a couple of things. I remember at the time I was kind of wee bit not depressed. I wasn't depressed or anything like that. Like I wasn't that severe, but I was suffering with anxiety and maybe it was a little touch of depression or something like that. But I remember thinking like I have to go and do something, you know, to keep my mind occupied, you know, something to get my mind out of something. And then that was one factor. And then I remember another factor. I went to the shop one day and I was running. My house is kind of up a hill, and I was running up the hill coming back. Started the rain or something like that, and I got back to the house, and literally I had run like 50, 60 yards, and I had a pain in my chest. And I remember going like, "What this is? I'm only like I think I was only 34, 33 or 34 at the time, and I think this isn't right. Like this isn't meant to be." And that was just like a switch between that and the kind of the mental side of it. I was like, I need to just do something to get me going, to get me a bit of confidence, a bit of something to keep me rolling over, you know, like. And I just was right. Well, Mark had joined, and Mark was telling me the crack, so I was like, right, well, I'll go there and I'll give that a go, you know.
Yeah. So fair bit of pain points for you. Kind of listen, I'm not happy here.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I wasn't like I remember it was. I think it was like it was Christmas Day, or I think it was the Christmas before I joined. It was Christmas Day, and I remember like everybody was all happy, buzz, and I was just kind of flat, and I was like, why am I feeling like this? You know, like why is it? Why am I? And I don't know whether I don't know what caused it or what, but I just know that when I joined and started the working out and started the fitness end of it, that stopped. That them kind of feelings stopped. I stopped. The anxiety went away. All that went away, and I was like, well, this is probably a bit of a key to it. Like, you know.
Yeah, I know. I wonder what that is specifically. Like, I mean, you and thousands, maybe millions of other people report the same thing. But I wonder
Yeah.
what the source of the anxiety was and why fitness fixes it. Like, is it lack of self confidence? Is it just knowing that you should be looking after yourself? You're not. I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where my anxiety. I don't know where it came from. Like, because I would never been like that before. It just kind of came all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It snapped one time. Kind of had a wee bit of a panic attack, and then it just kind of progressively got a little bit worse. Not to anything severe like where it was, but it was just there, you know. Like, and
Yeah.
I was like, I need to kind of just do something here, just to try and make this a wee bit better. And as you said, I read loads of things about exercise helping out with things like that, and so this is what might as well go for it.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked. Thank God. And yeah, what was it that kind of made you stick around to Fighting Fit? Like, why obviously do the past the 12-week stint?
It was just, I don't know, like it was a massive part of it was having Mark there, like,
Yeah,
and with Mark, like bouncing off each other,
big time.
and like kind of we'd work out, and then we'd be at work the next morning, and we talking about what we lifted or what we did or what, like you kind of, and the competitive aspect of it too, like, but um, it was like it was yourself, it was Chris, it was Niall at the time, Sam's, like it was just great crack, like everything.
Yeah,
It was never a chore to have to come in and work out. And the 1:15 class suited me to a T, because I'd
yeah,
finish work, straight to the gym, and then straight home, and then done for the day. Like, so everything, all the aspects of it just kind of worked for me.
yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah, good stuff. Great report. And obviously, yeah, it's like that's a big part of what we feel is just part of the secret sauce for Fighting Fit for whatever reason is the community aspect of things. Is like, yeah, just having friends. Obviously, you brought your own friend, which is class. And so, listen, this is it. It's like if you don't enjoy working out, it's going to be absolutely miserable. That's one of the things that we always try and do. Try and be friendly, try and be helpful, try and provide, what would you say, an environment that just doesn't seem boring or monotonous or anything like that, because yeah, working out's fucking painful enough. The last thing you need to be is to be a drudge. And yeah, if you got friends there, you're having the crack. It's 40 minutes, get it in, get it done. And I think it's actually amazing, to be fair, some of the results that you can get now in 40 minutes. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Fantastic. But again, I remember Stephen said to me, he said, here's the tagline: twice the results in half the time. I was like, ooh, that's good. I was like, but do you know the problem? I was like, it seems too good to be true. I was like, what's the crack there? I was like, something. I was like, that's what it is. There's no rest.
Yeah.
That's where half the work's coming from. It's like half or twice the results in half the time. It's there's no fucking break. They're tough sessions. Like it's a rough 40 minutes, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I remember people saying to me at the time, back in 2019 when I was there, and they're like, "Oh, how many times do you work out?" And I was like, "Oh, 5 times a week." And they were like, "What? 5 times a week? You're mad!" And I was like, "Oh, it's only half an hour a day." Like, it was only, at the time, it was only a half an hour class, but it was like
Oh, Jesus.
intense fucking half an hour.
Yeah, a little bit more hitty back then those days, 100%.
Yeah.
But now that we've upped the weights, you just need the recovery. You fucking need the recovery. And so, yeah, any challenges for you with your work? Obviously, you work a kind of bit of a unique timetable, let's say. Like, what is your daily routine looking like when you're on the job?
Man, it's not too bad. Like, I think I usually be in work for about 4 to 6 in the morning,
Okay, it's
and
not too bad.
no, it's all right. Like, it's fine, and I'm used to it now. Like, I'm 22 years doing it now, so
Oh,
I'm it's yeah, it's not just that. And I usually finish up around 12, half 12, and then just have
good
something
gig.
to eat. Then in the train at 1:15.
And is it an active job for the most part? Like, are you hitting 10,000 steps just at work, or is
Oh
some days
yeah,
you're on
like
the van, or how does it work?
I'm in the van, yeah, but still daily. Whenever I'm wearing my watch, anyway, you'd normally hit between 15 and 18,000 a day. Like,
Nice.
which
Yeah.
you're not walking the dog and stuff like that. You know, I'd always be up around 20,000 nearly most days.
Cool, yeah. And again, sorry, just at the minute, like, what's your weight? Because obviously some people are probably sitting here thinking, 15, 18,000 steps. How's this fella eating 2,500 calories and maintaining weight? What's going on?
What's my weight at the minute?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm sitting around 87 kilos at the minute.
Yeah, so to any ladies who are, 5'2", you're not getting 2,500 calories for maintenance. Unfortunately, there's a discrepancy between weight, and so again, obviously, Sean's a big dude. You get big calories. And again, to match with a big appetite. It's like people think it's all well and good, but it's like, yeah, with the appetite, it all kind of regulates to a happy medium. So another thing Mark was telling me you're kind of interested in at one stage, the SAS, Who Dares Wins. What was the crack with that?
I knew you'd bring that up. Yeah, yeah. Two of us, we used to love it. Like, we used to always be talking about it and all that. And when I was probably at my fittest, I was like, oh, well, I could do that. Like, I could think I could give that a go. So I just sent off an email to the show. It come up at the end of the season. Like, anybody interested in doing this next year, send off details. So I filled out this big form. Oh, it was pages and pages. And then you had to put a wee video in at the end of why you wanted to join and what your kind of fitness was and that. So I did that and sent it off. And I didn't talk no more about
Video coming up now. No, I'm joking.
No, that's definitely not coming up. But yeah, and then it was a couple of weeks back, and then I got an email from them saying that I was selected for the next part of the process, narrowed down. So I think it was another questionnaire then, and another video of just kind of what shape you're in and what you could do and things like that. Sent that off, and then I got to the next part, which was, I think it was like the second last part, was going to have to do a physical with them, but it turns out that at the time they were only accepting British passport holders in the competition, and I had an Irish passport, so I couldn't go. It was something about travel with the whole team. They all had to be British citizens, going from one country to another. I think that season it was in Morocco or something like that. Okay. Because I had an Irish passport, then I couldn't go any further.
Oh.
No. I probably would have made a show of myself.
The Cinderella story over because of passport. Fuck yeah, that's And what kind of fitness level were you at the time? That was obviously prior to Fighting Fit, then, was it?
No, that was that was to 2020. So it would have been just, I think it was 2020 or 2021. It was just when I left Fighting Fit the first time. I went I was doing CrossFit in Newry, and it was about 2 months into that. Then I was like, yeah, I was in pretty good shape, and I was like, I'm sure I'll go for that. I think it was around 2021 or 2020, mid 2021 when I did that.
Yeah, class. Oh, jeez, I don't think you would have made a show yourself at all. I'd say you would have been fucking rocket at that. Because you're really fit for Fighting Fit, and then again to be doing CrossFit and that kind of high intensity training. And again, like, guys, if you've ever seen Sean train in the gym, any fellow fighting members, like, you're no slouch. Like, it's not as if you're putting up rookie numbers, that sort of way. So yeah, it would have been interesting. Was there much running part of that challenge, or?
No. Like, it wasn't. It literally. I remember it was like the test was like the video was like just press.
No, sorry. Like the actual SAS, the actual show itself. Like, would you been running, doing like kind of long stints of cardio?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of like weight, like runs with rucksacks. Like weights, like 3 kilos in a rucksack and running up a mountain, and it was all like there was a lot of serious stuff, like stuff that I probably wouldn't have been fit for, but I just thought I'd give it a go. Like, I thought. Mentally, I thought I'd be pretty strong mentally with things like that. I thought I'd just push through it, but I don't know,
and hopefully train for it,
Yeah, hopefully put in some sort of specific training for it. Yeah,
100%. I don't know. I'd say you would have done class. Listen, never know. Get that British passport sorted out. We'll play again.
No, them days are gone.
And then, so obviously CrossFit. So you left us. You were doing the CrossFit, and then we kind of opened up the level method. You came back, and you managed to climb your way up to purple too, which is a really, really respectable score. How was your kind of whole level method experience? You enjoy it?
I loved it. Yeah, that was right up my street. That whole level method thing. Kind of goals. Hit this point. Hit this point. Hit this point. I remember when I got to purple. I think I was I know, right? I was the shoulder pressed. It was 70 kilo strict shoulder press, and there was one other one that was keeping me away from Brown. I remember I had hurt my shoulder and I couldn't push the thing. It was driving frustrated the hell out of me because I remember Benny Connolly. He was the only Brown at the time, and I was like, I'm going to be
And
the
my
fucking. I was going to be the second one, but I couldn't get it then just because I couldn't.
third one.
Third one. Oh, you had one too. Yeah, yeah. No, well, I'm Clyde. I meant Clyde.
Yeah, I know. I'm not real. I know. No, so then obviously you like the level method stuff. We kind of moved away from that. We moved back to this place. You're still doing Olympic lifting in SKF, am I right?
Yeah. Just do that just once a week.
How's that going? What's the kind of ambition there? What are you working on there currently?
I'm snatching at the minute. Just doing a lot of snatching, but I just love it. Like my Instagram feed is just full of Chinese lifters, slow motion snatching. That's all.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%. That and David Goggins. That's all it is. But
It's so satisfying to watch, though, isn't it? Like when you
oh,
understand the lift and you see them doing it with serious weight, it's so technical. It's amazing.
it's incredible. I just love it. I love it. I just want to learn how to do that. And then I seen that they were doing it. It was a 10-week kind of course. So I'm just kind of in the middle of that at the
It's
minute.
a course, is it? It's a group
Well,
course.
no, it's PT. It's one-on-one, but it's
Is it? Okay.
weeks after, yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
enjoying it.
what are you snatching at the minute, and what did you start at, or what have you built to? What's the progress looking like?
At the minute, like they're not. It's in no way impressive numbers or anything like that. But I think they are. Yesterday, I snatched 57 and a half.
Pretty solid.
Which, yeah, but I was well impressed with that. And it's just
So much real bit of weight.
Like
What is it? Sorry.
there's so much technique involved in it. Like you kind of have to. I find myself overthinking it a lot. Like, and then But I was happy with them numbers. Like,
It's huge, literally huge.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when I was 16, I was about that weight.
Hey.
Fair play to you. And what's your current focus? Obviously, we're snatching away. What are you working on mainly at the minute? Like, what's driving you? What's your vision?
Geez, I don't really know. Like, I don't really have any specific goals at the minute. Like, like just keep going and just to try. I'm more trying to get more focused on mobility, like my flexibility and stuff like that. Like, because I feel myself like stiffening up a lot more. Maybe it's just age or something. I don't know, but I'm like you put one of my things on my app as do the world's greatest stretch twice a day. Like I'd be trying to squeeze that in as much as I can, and just doing little bits. But I'm more kind of what I want to focus more like on my mobility and being more flexible and more than trying to, like, I'm not really interested in lifting big weight or things like that. Like I'd be more into the cardio aspect of, like, I much prefer being wrecked than lifting big weights. That kind of.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of
So
just
Friday workouts are your favorite thing.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, like I love that. I love that just being flat out.
Good.
Important.
Yeah, no, it's definitely fantastic for much mountain biking.
No, it didn't. I had a bad scare with that, and I just that's enough. I'm getting too old for this. Yeah.
What happened?
I was out on Ravensdale one day. I was out on my own, and I was coming down. It was the worst thing. I was doing Strava, the app Strava.
Yeah.
But like there's it's not just for running; it's biking as well, and there's records. No for going downhill and I was trying to.
As in, like, community records or personal records?
Community records, like.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So like I was pushing it hard, there was one section of course which I knew pretty well, and I was like, I think I could be up the top, one of the fastest in this. So I was pushing it really hard one day, and I was on my own, and I was just coming down, and my handlebar just clipped a tree, and it kind of set me over the bars, but like literally 10 foot away was a drop down into like a wee waterfall, but it was like, I'd say it was a good 50 feet down, and I went off and I slid, and I just stopped at the end of it, and I was like, oh my god, this could have been really, really bad. And I was on my own, so like I kept thinking to myself, if I had went down there, nobody would have known about it. Like Orna was at work, like nobody knew I was out biking, so I would have just been stuck down there, and there wouldn't be that many people on the trails during the week, so God knows when somebody else would have been there, and that kind of frightened me. Then I was like, no, this is a bit stupid. Like, I'll end up hurting myself. So that kind of put me off. Then
you're like 127 hours. You ever see that movie?
yeah, I have to cut my own arm off. Get out.
Fucking 100%. Trapped underneath your bike. Help me. Oh
Yeah,
God, that's wild. And
yeah.
so are you you're wrapping up for good, or you're just gonna ride more sensibly, or you're just taking a break? How do you feel?
No, I kind of lost. What it's one of them things. Once you stop, when you're riding, when you're going at the time, like you don't really have much fear about it. But once you stop, then you start to think, and then the kind of
That's
fear
dangerous
builds up.
thinking.
Yeah, like so. I kind of just said, no, that's it now. Like I finished with that. I'm like that anyway. I'll find something else and I get obsessed with. So
Fair enough. Olympic
yeah,
lifting.
yeah, but that's filling the gap for the moment.
Maybe you get on one of the road bikes with me and Mark.
No, definitely
We
not.
get your lycra shorts on. Well, yeah, no. Funny enough, actually, I did only get a road bike there the other day, and like obviously doing just a small bit of research and like trying to get the bike the right fit and stuff, and into that community, and something that they were saying. I think the I don't know about the whole get up, but I think the shorts are necessary. You need that butt padding because those seats are not
Yeah,
comfortable for
you
long
get
long stints
experience.
at a time.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm going to be in a pair of lycra shorts. Just be careful if you see me going around the town, guys, in my tight little shorts. So what are your current challenges? Are you kind of struggling with anything in terms of the gym? Any limiting factors? Kind of this is your thing to focus on or work on to get better. Mobility, I think you said.
Yeah, mobility, yeah, pretty much because like at the minute, like I had a wee injury in my knee there for a couple of weeks, and it was getting a lot better. Chris actually showed me and you showed me some exercises as well to do, and it was really working. It was I after my week off on holidays, it was like a week's rest, and it was feeling great when I got back then. But then it was straight back into the 1 rep or the 1 to 5 rep max. So I went straight in and back squatted 135 kilos, and I just felt a little twinge in the knee again. So it's kind of acting up again. So I'm going to try and focus on not going too hard and just kind of trying to heal that up.
Yeah, big focus is obviously movement is still super important. So it's good to see you kind of in there working today. But yeah, I would say slow, controlled movements. Just now, listen to the body, tune in. Something's just not happy, sat wrong, pushed wrong, strained, pulled. Part
Yeah.
of the game. Unfortunately, this is the thing. Been an organic being. It's like we're not machines, and even machines. Things go over time, wear and tear. It's all part of it. The
Yeah.
great thing is, well, or maybe not the great thing is that it's like the body heals itself, which I suppose can be good and bad. It's like you can't just take it out and put a new one in. You kind of
Yeah.
have to
Can't do
manage
that
it,
yet.
which is not yet exactly. Yeah, well, listen, you could always get some stem cells. I'm sure that would fucking clear things right up.
Yeah.
You don't happen to have 30 grand spare, do you?
No. Went on the flight
Maybe.
to
Yeah, well, this is it. So then, what's the habits you're working on? Anything kind of that you're tuning into? Obviously, we got that world's greatest stretch habit. Any other habits that you kind of feel are particularly valuable to you at the minute?
No, nothing really. Like it's just as I said, I'm just more trying to focus on trying to get that stretching in daily. Like trying to just squeeze. I remember you said to me it takes about 8 minutes to do to do it twice. So I'm trying to just kind of focus on taking up the 8 minutes doing that. Like taking my time, kind of trying to do it right. Just that's pretty much the only kind of habit thing that I'm trying to keep a habit.
Fair enough. And what's your most valuable habit? Have you done anything? Like the most thing that you do that's the most simple. Like again, could be something as simple as the breakfast that sets me up right for the day. The walk at lunchtime. Like what is that? The one thing that that if you kind of get into the flow of, it makes a fair big difference to you. It doesn't have to be something that you're still doing. Maybe something in the past that you might have done that you're like, oh fuck, like that was crucial.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I think like probably the most important part of my day now, but in that aspect, is probably just it's getting to the class, getting to the 115 class. Like that like that 115 class is great. Like it's great crack, it's great. There's some great people in it. Like everybody kind of pushes everybody, and that's the one thing that kind of hits my day. Once I get that in, then the rest of it is grand. Like whenever you
Understand?
miss.
Well, this is it. It's so funny as well. There, it's like, what's your most valuable habit? And you nearly at this stage in the game have to think it's like, oh well, not working out. That's easy. It's like something else. It's like, but it's like this is it. It's like you work out literally 4 to 5 times a week, no problem. And so that's a massive deal for most people. And so if that's your habit that keeps you right, that's a huge step in the right direction. And again, we think about where we came from. Couldn't run 50 to 70 meters. Again, a little bit of anxiety, maybe not so confident in your own body. It's like, if that's the habit, it's like Good, fantastic. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't need to be secret, doesn't need to be sexy. It just needs to be
Just
done
that.
consistently.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, you may be glad to know we are kind of tapering away from the heavier end of things. We've got some fun questions kind of coming your way, just kind of lighten it up a little bit before we wrap it up.
Right.
So, what's your favorite workout song? As a thank you for jumping on the podcast, I will add it to the playlist.
Favorite workout song. Oof. I used to love one that used to be playing back when in 2019. You used to play it all the time, but it doesn't. I haven't heard it since I went back.
Go for it.
It was Fisher was the name. Losing it.
Fisher, I'm losing.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
I'm with you.
getting
Well,
it.
you'll hear it. You'll hear it tomorrow, 1:15. Perfect. What about supplements? Did you take any supplements?
Just the creatine and whey protein. That's it. That's all.
Cool. And every day with creatine?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like if I'd be pretty consistent with it. Like if I missed one day, I'd double up on it the next day, and just kind of go back to normal then after that. But
yeah,
I'd usually be pretty.
And what about protein shake? Is that like a non-negotiable for you? Does it have to be every day? Do you take it as needed, or how do you work it?
No, I kind of just take it as needed. Like I could go if I hit the 160 grams just with my food, like 170 grams, like I won't bother taking it. Like I don't take it religiously, like every day. Like just if I need it, if one day I didn't get my lunch, like and I was going to bed at night, I'd say, oh well, here I'll take my protein shake before I go, just to get that protein in, like.
Yeah, it is a supplement. That's what it's for. It's there to supplement your nutrition to get you to whatever you need to be. And again, 100%. There's some people that kind of fall into the trap of kind of feeling like, it's like, oh, I have to take my shake. It's like, it's literally just a supplement. If you're eating chicken, fish, eggs, you're eating enough of them, you don't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
Deadly. And then, how do you feel about running? What's your kind of history of running? Do you have much?
Oh, I hate running.
Hilarious, really. Can't do it, won't do it, never done it, or?
No, never done it consistently enough to be any good at it. I did the Cooper test there last week, or was it Saturday? Saturday, and the first time I did it, I think I got 2.3, and then the last time there I got 2.6. So I was delighted with that, like, because I don't run, and I'm no good at it. So I was happy with that. I can run 5K. I did it. I could go out and run 5K, like, but I'd be fucked after it, like,
You could, but you wouldn't.
Exactly.
So no ambition for signing up for a Stramiskin 5K?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Not even if I said, Sean, it's really good for you, it's a good hobby, it's good for the head, like you're just not interested in running.
No, like I don't know, like it's just something I do. I would go for the odd run around here, like it's the problem around here is it's so hilly, like every run is a struggle, like there's no flat ground, so you're either running up for a mile and then down for a mile, but yeah, but no, like I don't really have much. I'd like to be able, like, I remember I did a 10K a couple of years ago, and I was delighted that I actually could run 10K. I was thinking, because I never was any good at running, so I remember running it, and I was like, holy shit, I actually ran 10K. Like I was delighted with that. But I would like to get back to that level again but it's just like I like my days off too. Like when you're training, the kind of thing that you need a day off just to rest. Like going for a run. I know a run is probably not the most strenuous thing to do, but
depends how fast you run.
Yeah, well, true enough, yeah.
And this is again kind of just a slight bit of pushback. Like again, like that, the Cooper test score, pretty solid. Why would you say that you're no good at running? Why is that the?
I don't know. I don't know whether I think just because I hate it so much. Like I just think,
fair enough. But also, it's like I would say a pretty decent runner. Maybe more potential available if you wanted it. But I'd say on the grand scheme of things, you're probably pretty decent. You're a really good athlete. Plenty of football when you're younger. Should you run? Maybe depending on your goals. But it's like, could you run? Yes, 100%. Would you run? Different question. It's like it's kind of down to preference. But I suppose the thing is, like, again, you're probably a pretty decent runner. I wouldn't be putting yourself in a box.
Yeah. I know myself 100%. If I committed to doing it, like I know I could get better at it. Like I know now from committing myself to the gym, knowing that I can get better at things. Like so I have got. Like I have that kind of attitude now with things, like like, well, if I just commit to that, like I know I'll get better at it, but it's just committing to it.
Love it. We call that a growth mindset.
Yeah.
So it's one of the big things that you're trying to develop in clients, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's two things essentially generally in the coaching terminology. One is a fixed mindset and the other one is a growth mindset. And the fixed mindset says, I'm not good at running, so I won't be good at running, and I can't be good at running. There's a growth mindset says, well, again, possibly I'm not good at running, but I know that if I put in the time, put in the hours, did the due diligence, I would get better, because that's how human beings work,
Yeah.
And sometimes, we can just get into a rut, or maybe nobody's kind of helped develop us with a growth mindset. Again, I'm sure you probably do it for your kids. It's like, oh no, I'm no good at this. It's like, listen, give it a go, practice,
Yeah.
practice, practice, you'll get better. You try and develop that growth mindset. And so it's great to kind of hear you saying that you have that mentality. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Next one, hobbies outside the gym and exercise. Now that you're not doing mountain biking, I suppose outside gym and exercise. So any hobbies at all?
No, I don't really do much. Like I'm in the group there with the Stephen and that for the five-side football, and I'm mad to play that, but just with my knee, I'm just a wee bit afraid of doing like a wee sharp turn or something like that. It kind of feels like I might do a wee bit of damage, so it's just kind of waiting until that gets better. But other than that, I don't really like just. My hobby's probably walking the dog. Do you know that? Like I enjoy walking the dog. That's probably my biggest hobby. But no,
What are
nothing really.
reading audiobooks? Any kind of books or
Oh
audiobooks you
yeah,
listen to?
I like listening to when I'm out in delivery in the post. Like I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, I would listen to. I just finished David Gog. They never finished there.
Nice.
Go, like I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I would listen to a lot of audiobooks and things like that. Just to keep my mind occupied when I'm out in delivery.
So, top recommendation? Any recommendation for anybody listening? Oh, I have Audible. I have a credit there. What should I get?
I don't know, nothing really fitness wise, but I'm listening to the book Sapiens. Did you ever listen to that?
No,
No, it just blew my mind. I just thought,
really.
yeah, it's really really good. Yeah.
Well, what's the two sentence synopsis?
Oh, it's hard to explain. It just goes back to like you think of like Homo sapiens, like we are, like that we were the only kind of species, but it just goes. There was so many different species of sapiens. Like it wasn't just
Yes,
Homo sapiens.
interesting.
Like on the world, there was loads of different, and it just how they were intertwined, and it's really interesting.
That's really cool. It's a great recommendation. Sometimes I read, like when I'm asking that question, I'm looking for a non-fitness recommendation. Listen, I've listened to
Yeah,
loads of fitness books, fucking sick of fitness books. That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Sapiens, great recommendation. And so, protein. What's your favorite flavor? If you're getting a shake, what are you choosing?
Well, I have chocolate at the minute. It's just the milk chocolate one, like, and I don't really like it at all.
Heart's broken.
I'd be more probably more. I know I probably enjoy the vanilla ones just the most. Like I'd be plain as anything. Just vanilla does me grand. Like I was thinking of getting the chocolate because maybe a wee bit sweet. It's like you can think of it as a bit of a treat sometimes. Like
Yeah,
but
big time, man.
yeah, no, like I
Well,
would
it's
not be.
nice. It's nice to break the strawberry streak. I think I've had everybody on here nearly think I drank a strawberry protein shake. I was starting to think I was something wrong with me.
Yeah, well, I never had the strawberry one, so I never tried that one.
In good company, Sean. Fair play to you. And so then, what about meals? Favorite unplanned meal? What are you making? What are you eating for? Let's say that dinner time, or maybe even go to breakfast or lunch. What's your favorite?
Oh, I love my wraps. I love my wraps at
Wraps.
the time. Yeah, yeah.
What
Like
are
I
you what
would.
are you stuffing in a wrap?
I would always. It would be bacon and something. Every one of my wraps contains 4 bacon medallions. No matter
Love it.
what, it has 4 bacon medallions. But I'd be whether it's chicken or tuna or anything like that. Like I love wraps. So and
Like
I never
toasted
used
wrap.
to. What? No, not even toasted. Just straight down.
Crazy man. Have you tried toasting it?
No, I never do. No.
I would
Well, I'll put that to the test the next time.
honestly test it and get back to me. I think I'll change your life. You'd be like, Brandon, I thought I liked wraps before, but now I eat them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you ask me what I'm eating for dinner, it's wraps. Awesome. What about off plan? You're having a big cheat meal. What are you going for?
Go to it probably be Chinese. Like I probably
Nice.
that. Yeah, like I enjoy my Chinese. Don't get it too often, but on a Saturday night there, I love a Chinese and a DVD and a beer. That's my
Love it. Go
love
on,
that.
read
Yeah.
me. What's the order? What are we getting? What's the Chinese?
Oh, it's a baked Portuguese chicken,
Nice.
Delphi Jade with salt and pepper chicken and shredded chili beef. Three of them.
Body, plenty of protein there.
You gotta believe it.
Unbelievable. All right, Sean, last thing that we're going to leave it with is, do you have any advice? Let's say Sean McConnon, before the run, woke up anxiety filled, just maybe not in the best place, but he knows that he wants to change. What would you tell him? What advice do you have?
Kind of did what I wrote in my review that time. I did one a while back, and it was the one thing. I said it in the review, I says, if you're thinking about it, just do it. You know, like, because the way I was thinking about it, and not doing it. But if you're thinking about it, just do it. I said I'd do it for the 12 weeks and see how I got on. Like, and here's 5 years later, and I'd 1 or 2 wee breaks, like, but I'm still there. You know, like, it's so I guarantee you, if you go and try it, you'll stick at it.
Amazing. And so again, like, that's something that I've been thinking about a fair bit, because that's the advice for many people is, oh, just do it. I don't know how to put it into words. I was kind of in a place and I didn't really know what to do. Just do it. And so one of my favorite quotes, I remember Stephen told me when I was younger, because again, I was, immature and young, but full of moxie, but inexperienced. And I remember, like, used to tell him all these things, and you said to me, action is the real sign of intelligence. Like, lots of people think. If you really want to make a change, action is where it's at. And that's exactly what you did, Sean. Fair play to you, boss. Thanks so much for jumping on the podcast, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. If you like this podcast and you want more podcasts, there is a few in the backlog. So again, we got some more coming up. We got some more there for you to already listen to. There's even there from a few years ago if you're really hungry for some advice. If you like this content, guys, we're on all the socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. You can check out the website, www.fightingfitnation.com. I've been Brandon Mulligan, that's Sean McConnon, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.